So I'm here in Liverpool. I just did the National Trust tour of Paul McCartney's house and John Lennon's house. We ended at Paul's house, and I thought I would leave the tour group, and I would, it's over anyway, and try to retrace the path that Paul and John used to take when they would visit each other at their homes when they were kids and they were teenagers writing songs together. You know, they would leave their house and they would, instead of walking around half an hour on the streets, they would cut through the golf course. And that's what I'm attempting to do right now. There's a park here, which may be the golf course, and I'm going to see if I can get through there. So here's what we're talking about. Here's Paul McCartney's house in the lower left corner and John's house sort of in the upper right corner. And in between you see the Allerton Manor Golf Club. Now here's, if you were to walk along the street up Yew Tree Road, it would take you about 31 minutes. So I'm going to try to cut through here, and beginning right here where the red star is, where I walked up from Paul's house. Very nice leafy area of Liverpool. I think this is maybe the Allerton Road, I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. So we'll go up here and see if there's an access pathway. Okay, here we go. Allerton Manor Golf Club. Yes, this is Allerton Road. So this looks like, here we go, entering the golf club. Very nice. There's a pathway here. And I think this should get me through, I hope. Nice tree-lined pathway through the golf course. This little old brick wall over here on the border. Okay, so here we are. Some people over there playing golf. These are the very same people that were playing golf in 1962 when Paul and John were visiting each other. They haven't finished the round yet, this guy in the green shirt. That would put him at about 110 or 120 years old. Amazing. Okay. We're now beside the golf course. Continuing on this way. Insert long and winding road joke here. It's not that long, and it's not that winding. Okay, we're still on the golf course. I think this is hole number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Okay, now we've taken a little turn into this sort of residential street area. And this should be the last leg as we head towards Menlove Avenue. Okay, so here we are. We just avoided getting run over by a street sweeper. Never pleasant, but at least it would leave a clean corpse. Okay, here we are. This should be Menlove Avenue. So here we are, walking along this kind of it's a sidewalk, but it's kind of more like a towpath along the side of Menlove Avenue. And there we are, there's John's house, Mendips. As you can see, a fairly busy street here. At this point, I just need to jump in here from post-production and mention that as I walked along Menlove Avenue, I noticed a sign for a public footpath right where you see the red arrow here, basically where the sort of line of trees ends. And when I returned from Liverpool, when I returned home to Toronto, I discovered a couple of YouTube videos where people had in fact, attempted the same thing as me to trace this shortcut through the golf course, and both of them used this public footpath, as seen here on the map in yellow, and the route that I took is the red line. I'll put links to the videos below, and you can check those out yourself. The public footpath is quite it's quite narrow and tree shaded. You can imagine walking through here, perhaps even late at night or at dusk, carrying a guitar slung across your back or in a case, and it might have been a little claustrophobic. I don't know. If I was a betting man, I guess I would probably say it would make sense that they would take the public footpath. And they also mentioned that they would have to jump over a fence in order to avoid being seen by the night guard. So it's possible that they took the public footpath and then had to jump over a fence at some point. I was simply following Google Maps, and it sort of led me in this direction. So, I guess there are two courses one could take to get through Allerton Golf Course. Now we return to the video where the path I took has indeed led me to 251 Menlove Avenue, also known as Mendips, John Lennon's childhood home. Of course, John's mom, Julia, on that fateful day, and I believe it was late 1957 or 58, had been visiting Aunt Mimi here at Mendips when she left. John's friend Nigel Wally, I believe his name was, happened to be there, came by to see John. John wasn't there. Julia said, "Nigel, why don't you walk me to my bus stop?" And they walked this way. Nigel said goodbye to her at this intersection, turned up this road where several of John's friends lived: Pete Shotton, Nigel Wally, Ivan Vaughn, members of the Quarrymen. So they would have said goodbye over on this intersection, and then Julia would have been crossing the street here to this bus stop when she was hit by an off-duty police officer driving and killed instantly. And as the tour of his home pointed out, from that point on, whenever he needed to catch a bus, John, he would have come here to catch a bus on the very spot where his mom died. Traffic is walking down Menlove Avenue. John's house is down that way, and then we're walking this way towards Strawberry Field. So we just walked up. That's Menlove Avenue down there. Cars going by. And here is Strawberry Field. Go inside the park and look around. Used to be a mansion here, school, and what is it?